one. What up, Ninja Village? Welcome to another episode of Chronicles Reviews with the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. You have myself joined by co-host, our lady ninja, Arunya Miss, aka Erun Sita. Say what's up
What
to the
up?
people.
What up? What up? What up?
And what's Chronicles Reviews for the uninitiated? It's where one or more of us ninjas discuss anything from movie, TV, video games, conventions, events, anything of that nature. And as you can see in the background, we're here to discuss Supacell. Now, some of y'all fix your face. Fix your face. We know the show been out for a few months, and why y'all ain't talk about it before? Shut up. We talking about it now. How about
That's
that?
right. That's right.
See how aggressive I got to talk to you? When you want to be spicy, I'm going to be spicy back, okay? Shut your face. We're talking about it now. Now, Supacell is a Netflix show that stars Tosin Cole as Michael, Nadine Mills as Sabrina, Josh Tedeku as Taser. Pardon me if I jack up some of these names, okay? All right. Eric Kofi Brafa as Andre, Adelayo Adadayo as Dion, Calvin Dimmer as Rodney. You also have Rachia Orjo as Charlene, and you have plenty others. But Tosin, Nadine, Josh, Eric, and Calvin are the five we truly need to focus on, because then the five with the superpowers. Now, Supacell also get its name because any superpowered people get it because somewhere in their bloodline, a family member has sickle cell. Lord have mercy. They had sickle cell. So through something with sickle cell, which, funny enough, the show hasn't fully explained that yet, which I thought about that. So something through sickle cell causes these superpowered humans.
And the coolest part is those sickle cell mainly affects African American people.
Well, that's a good thing, a bad thing, but yeah.
Right. Whichever. This show makes it a good thing.
The show does make it a good thing. The backdrop is London, because it is in London.
Yeah.
Now, to break it down, hold on, let me do the overlay. You have Michael in the middle. He has the power of kind of teleportation. He can kind of teleport, and through concentration enough, he can kind of go into the future.
Yeah, he can time travel a little bit.
He can kind of time travel. You have Sabrina here. She's a nurse. Oh, sorry. Michael, he works for like a FedEx, UPS. Forgive me, I don't remember the parcel service that he does before. But, you know, him and his fiance, they trying to live life. He gains this power. You have Sabrina. She's a nurse. She discovers she has the power of telekinesis.
Yes, she has Prue's power.
Yeah, for the Charm fans out there. Yeah. You have Andre next to her. He is a father. He is a father who just kind of got his son back. He's kind of trying to figure out life. He's trying to figure things out. His son, I think it was like 15. And, you know, him trying to reconnect with his son again. He has the power of super strength.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's fully on the level of Luke Cage, as in, you know, he's bulletproof, unbreakable skin or anything like that. But he does have super strength.
Yes.
Then, now let's go on the other side to the left of Michael. You have Rodney. Rodney has the power of super speed.
Yes.
He's like the Flash.
Yes.
And when we start breaking things down, you're going to see why, one element of why we love this show. But he has super speed, and of course, in Rodney, he's a drug dealer.
Yes.
You can kind of put two and two together. But then next to Rodney, we have Taser, who is a part of a gang, and his power is invisibility.
Yes.
So those are your five. And how the show comes about is when Michael kind of has a moment. He first discovered his power because he rewound time. because he got stabbed. He rewound and he kind of replayed the situation differently. Then something else happened to where he future traveled. Funny enough, of course, we're going to be doing mild spoilers. He was in the middle of getting some, you know what I'm saying? He was getting some. And just imagine you in the middle of getting some and you just disappear.
Teleport out.
You just teleport out. But he goes to the future. He sees something in the future that he did not like. So now he's setting back to not only change what he saw in the future, but to find the other 4, because he realized it took the power of 5, I guess, like the power of 3. We're going to add 2 more, took the power of 5 to try to prevent what's going to happen in the future.
Right.
And that's what makes this show great. It's simple.
Yes.
It's not overcomplicated.
Right.
It's not bogged down. Shout outs to Ratman, who created the show, wrote the show. I think he damn near directed almost every episode too.
I think so as well.
It's simple. You don't have to think too hard, think too much. And one thing I like about this show that a lot of superhero properties don't do. Yes, sometimes everyday people get powers, but everyday people still have to live their everyday lives.
Right.
And that's what makes the show great. Because like we mentioned, hold on, go back to the overlay. Like we mentioned, Rodney is a drug dealer. And Rodney was like, hey, I can give y'all's weed in 5 minutes or less, or it's free. You know, we ain't never
capitalizing on his gift.
We ain't never seen situations where people are like, hey, hey, I can just zoom around town. You know what I'm saying? Give them the boys some premiums. And then we had Andre. He discovered his powers because he accidentally punched the ATM. And of course, what he do? Scoops the money.
That's right. He's like, well, now I got a savings at the house.
And Taser, he still has to deal with his everyday gang life, him and his boys, going against rival gangs and stuff. And
on their bicycle.
And scooters. Bicycles and scooters. So I can appreciate how you still had everyday living, that it wasn't like, oh, they got superpowers and now they can just ignore things. Nope. You still gotta figure out life, because that's what was happening with Michael. Michael's getting his superpowers. He was being vague with his fiance, and she was like, tell me what's going on. And he was like, nope.
Right. And for all of you wonderful Doctor Who nerds, you will recognize Tosin Cole, aka Michael, as one of the Doctor's companions. So, yay!
And of course, I knew him for the House Party remake, which wasn't that good of a movie. So we'll just go with the Doctor Who example. I
didn't see the House Party, but
we'll go with Doctor Who. We'll just go with Doctor Who.
So shout out to him, because that's dope.
But yeah, like I just love the show. Like, it was 6 episodes, and when Aranya watched it thanks to a recommendation, she sat there in one sitting. When she told Boss and I was like, all right, let me turn this on. I damn near saw it in one sitting. Like, I was like, oh no, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, you're going to sit there. You're going to be like, wait, what? You're going to get invested like that with the characters.
And that was the thing. Whether you agreed with their life choices or not, you still was like, I want to see what's going to play out. Because one of the great things they did with the show too, of course, it was that notion of, how are all 5 going to meet up and, whatever. And they do a good job with letting everybody's lives play out. There was times where certain characters may cross at certain points and you're, no, go back. That's the person you're looking for. But nope. It was like, nah, it's going to play out. And when it all came together,
Yes, it was chef's kiss. It's great. Like, I honestly, Someone had told me about it. I guess I heard them, but I didn't. And it was like a lot going on. And I was like, huh? And so, it popped up and I was like, I see a black cast here. Let me just watch the first episode and see what's going on. Next thing I know, I'm telling Scoot I'm not watching wrestling because I'm involved.
Yeah, she didn't watch Raw. She didn't watch Raw that night because she was like, nope, I'm invested. And I was like, and that's what made me be like, okay, maybe I need to go ahead and watch. Because she completely skipped out on watching Raw and was like, nope, this is me today until the end.
Oh, that's how investing it is. And I love it. Plus, as an American, I mean, you can speak for this as well, Scoot. It's interesting to see how British people live. Black British people.
Facts.
It's like, oh, okay, well, this is what you're doing, and these are the type of clubs you go to, and how you dress, and the different forms of slang that they use, and like we laughing at them, because of the gangs, because we're used to a certain type of gang here. We see their gang on scooters, and we like this. What you doing? Where are you going?
Yeah,
and
I guess that speaks to the barbarians of Americans because we're used to guns and things, and they just got like knives. Like there was only like 2-3 people who had guns. But for the most part,
we're Texans, so exactly.
Yeah.
So we're not used to it. So it's interesting too. It's not really, we're not making fun of. It's just something totally different that when our brain thinks one thing and you see it totally played out different for another country. Yes, we do have in common that we are Black. However, they are a different culture than we are. So it was very interesting to see that, as well as the life, the way the houses are made, everything is different because they're not in America. So it was really good. And who wrote it? What'd you say?
Ratman.
Listen, I don't know who Ratman is, but I'd shake that brother's hand because when I say good job. Like
good job. You can definitely tell this was something you could tell this wasn't no overnight, I just thought of something. You could tell this was a fully thought of idea. Yeah. This was a fully thought of, fledged out idea. This wasn't like, hey, what if Black people get superpowers because of sickle cell? Okay, well, let's figure it out. No, you could tell this was some thought out stuff.
It was. And it was very, very nicely put together. And to me, it didn't have really any gaps. It was really like all the questions were answered. Who knows who and how. There was no question. It's like it totally left you ready and thirsty for season 2.
And I'm glad Aranya said it because her watching it, the season does end on a bit of a cliffhanger, and they announced season 2 coming out, and it's like, oh boy, sign me up
immediately.
Sign me up. Now I hope they do season 2 like they did season 1. We'll release it all at once because I'm an Avenger. Okay, if the show is good enough, I'm an Avenger. I will sit there and watch it all in one collective sitting if it's good enough. And this was good enough. And when I literally tell you, I watched all 6 in the span of a 24-hour period. I didn't sit there and watch all 6 like Aranya did, but in a 24-hour period, I watched all 6.
I literally watched all 6 right after I got off work. Like I got off work and was like, click, locked in, not moving, not budging until it's done.
I don't even think she was breathing, y'all.
Nah. But I mean, to be fair, if they release an episode at a time, I'm watching From right now, and they're releasing it one episode at a time. I'm watching it still. I'm like,
it has to grab me in order for me to like. Last of Us was probably the last thing I watched episodic so far.
I have been waiting for this season of From. So once I realized, I wasn't paying attention when I clicked it the first time. I've already watched the first episode. I can't just not watch it for a long time. Like I gotta go. So, if I'm willing to do it for From, I'm willing to do it for Supercell. So
makes sense.
Makes
sense. And another thing to praise the show. One thing I've always enjoyed, I enjoy a show when people find out they got superpowers and they like, what the fuck do I do next? It ain't just
Right.
an automatic boom, I got it. It was literally like how we mentioned I keep forgetting his name, Rodney. When he first discovered he had superpowers, man's ran from London all the way to Ireland. Damn there. And he was
And he
like,
was like, where am
ooh,
I?
ooh. And it was one of the things to where he was like, I'm trying to figure out how to do my powers, and I can't. What is not why? And then of course he eventually figures it out. But I can appreciate that it wasn't just immediate. Oh, I got my powers. I know what I'm doing
And now
now.
you're a master of everything. There was
Now
a
you're
learning curve.
learning curves, and I can
And that's
appreciate
beautiful.
that.
Yeah, because it's very human. It's very human.
human.
You know, it's like, wait a minute, did I just? Maybe I'm tripping. I love that. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe that. Did I just? No, I couldn't have done that. That's crazy. That's not real. That's not a normal thing. I love that.
Another minor spoiler thing that they show: using your powers physically drains you.
Oh man,
Using
I love
your
that.
powers enough, it will put you on your ass for a good solid day or two.
Right. I love that
three.
too. Because it's very human. It's very like, that's a normal thing. You would think that using your power, just like using your brain, if you use your brain a whole bunch, you need a nap. You like, man, I'm tired. I need to rest. So I love the amount of humanness to each character, and that each character is from different walks of life always adds to it for me. Because it's like, okay.
Not only that, to piggyback off of what she just said, the only way these characters will truly cross paths is either Michael delivering something to possible one of them, or maybe they was like in a club or something. But there is no way from each of these 5 people they would have ever crossed paths.
Right.
Which they did show Michael in oh my God, Rodney. They crossed paths in like the first episode. But other than that, they would have never crossed paths like that because of their different walks of life, and I truly appreciate that.
Yeah. It just seems so natural. That's the thing. It seems so natural, and those character arcs are good, and they're natural. They're not from here to here. Like we said, it's a gradual, like, okay, and I'm along for the ride. Like, I'm for it. I shout out to him again. What's his name again?
Ratman.
I was going to say Beatman. Ratman, shout out to him again. Because listen, wonderful concept, wonderfully executed, wonderful acting. Like, wow.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all we gonna say without getting into full-fledged spoilers.
Yeah.
Because it deserves to be watched.
Yes.
Whether it's an all-black cast or whatever, don't be tripping off a race or anything. It just so happens. Just watch the damn show. Stop being an asshole and just watch the damn show. How about that?
Right. And for the people who don't, I'm this kind of person. I sometimes don't like movies that have big name celebrities because I feel like that person's always gonna live. You know what I'm saying? But these people, you might not know any of them. Like I said, I recognize Tosin Cole because I was like,
that's the only one.
Yeah. Everybody else, I'm like, okay, cool. So you don't know who's who and what's what and what'll happen. And it's like, okay, bet.
There's one other character I know, but I'm not gonna mention him. I'm gonna mention it to Aranya off the stream because I don't want to spoil nothing. There's one other character I did know. Other than that, Tosin Cole is the only person I knew.
Yeah.
The only one.
So I love that. And can I just say, wonderful way to have all these wonderful Black people who can act highlighted. So for any further, shows or whatever, you got a whole bunch of relatively young to middle-aged, good acting Black people. So let's put them in some movies, y'all.
Man, there you go. Supacell, Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. 2/3. Say, watch it. Check it out.
Yeah.
You will not be wasting your time.
You will not.
You will not. Whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, perfect thumbs up. Like, share, comment. Comment down below what you thought of Supacell. Comment down below that if you get superpowers of any kind, which one would you want? And would you necessarily do good with it? Be honest. Be honest. Because the more and more I keep seeing things, I'm in that gray area. I'm in that gray area. I'm just putting it out there. I'm in that gray area. After you do all of that, you gotta subscribe. After you subscribe, you gotta hit that notification bell so you can get notified for other Car Chronicles reviews. Boss Reacts, where Cosmic Boss reacts to different trailers of all entertainment. LTSN Cafe, where we do food tastings and let you know how we feel. Then, of course, our podcast that we do every then and now, Ninja Banter. Until next time, Scooter Ray, Run Sita, shout out to Cosmic Boss. Love one another, take care of one another, take care of yourself, love yourself, look out for your mental and physical health. And until next time, we just trying to make the Ninja Village proud. Peace.
Out.